POV, you're the fall guy for a billion-dollar fraud. You're 29 years old when you get the job offer. 3 months unemployed. Rent overdue. Credit cards maxed out. Every application feels like throwing paper into a fire. Then a fintech startup calls. The salary is higher than anything you've ever made. The recruiter keeps repeating the same phrase. We're moving fast. You take the job. The office looks like success. Glass walls. Expensive coffee. Neon signs telling everyone to innovate. The founders talk about changing finance forever. You believe them. At first, your work is simple. Update spreadsheets. Organize documents. Sign routine paperwork. Nothing unusual. Then one day your manager asks you to send a confirmation email to an auditor. The company supposedly has $300 million in cash reserves. You don't know if that's true. You ask. Your manager smiles. Don't worry about it. You hit send. Nothing happens. No alarms. No consequences. That's how it starts. Not with a crime. With a task. A few weeks later, legal creates a new company entity. A special purpose vehicle. An SPV. Your name appears on the paperwork. Not as an employee. As an officer. You ask why. Standard procedure. You sign. Then they make you secretary of the company. Then interim director. Each title sounds temporary. Each signature feels harmless. Every document arrives through DocuSign. Click. Sign. Done. You stop reading. Everyone does. One afternoon you discover a spreadsheet. 3 columns. Actual balance. Reported balance. Difference. The difference is hundreds of millions of dollars. Your stomach drops. The numbers investors see aren't real. The company isn't growing. It's pretending to grow. You try to ignore it. Because the paycheck is real. Your rent is real. Your problems are real. And denial is easier than unemployment. Then Treasury asks you to approve an 18 million wire transfer. The recipient is a consulting company you've never heard of. The address traces back to a mailbox. You ask questions. Your manager calls immediately. Don't slow down the company. You sign. The money disappears. Weeks later auditors arrive. Legal coaches everyone beforehand. If they ask this, say that. If they ask about cash, redirect them. If they ask about ownership, redirect them. If they ask too much, call legal. You're no longer working at a company. You're helping maintain a story. Then comes the final document. A management representation letter. It says the financial statements are accurate. The controls are effective. There are no undisclosed liabilities. And your signature is waiting at the bottom. For the first time, you hesitate. Then an anonymous email appears in your inbox. One sentence. They're setting you up. Attached are executive messages discussing how your name creates distance between the founders and the fraud. Your hands start shaking. You try accessing company files. Access denied. Shared drives disappear. Channels vanish. By the end of the day, HR schedules a meeting. No agenda. You already know. They fire you. Not because you're guilty. Because you're useful. Your name is on everything. The signatures. The filings. The approvals. The founders can claim ignorance. You can't. Months later, the company collapses. News headlines explode. Billions missing. Executives resign. Federal investigators get involved. You sit across from agents who slide documents across the table. Every document has your signature. Every approval traces back to you. You explain. You trusted your managers. You followed instructions. You didn't build the fraud. You just signed where they told you to sign. The investigators listen. Then they ask the question. Why didn't you stop? You don't have a good answer. Because the truth sounds weak. Because you needed the job. Because everyone around you acted like it was normal. Because fraud doesn't arrive wearing a mask. It arrives as a meeting invite. A spreadsheet. A deadline. A signature box highlighted in yellow. The founders hire lawyers. The company blames rogue employees. Anonymous sources leak your name. Friends stop calling. Employers stop responding. You aren't convicted. You aren't cleared. You're just marked. Years later, you work at a smaller company. Smaller salary. Smaller office. Smaller life. But every time someone says, "We're moving fast," you feel your chest tighten. Because now you understand what it means. Move fast. Don't ask questions. Move fast. Sign the paperwork. Move fast. So when everything collapses, there's already someone holding the pen.